Here are some original exercises that I created that can help you with your acting. Hey guys, my name is Harrison and I'm an actor, and today we're looking at a couple of activities which I have made up over the past year, which may or may not help you with your acting. We'll wait and find out. Yeah. The first one is called This Is How I Murdered Someone. Now how this works is that there's two people. There's the storyteller and there's the listener, or the detective, sort of. Now the storyteller has 5 minutes to explain and create this story up on the spot about how they went about murdering someone. And it's all improvised, it's all on the spot, and you want to make it as creative and abstract and unique as you can. Like, you threw them out of a helicopter, or that's not that unique, but you had a incident in the snow where you had to run them over with a snowmobile, or I don't know, something random. Be original, be creative. I mean, you're storytelling after all, you can make up whatever the fuck you want. Essentially, whilst the storyteller is saying their story about how they murdered someone, the other person, the listener, is going to throw them doings. Not physically throw them, verbally throw them doings. And they're going to say things like, embarrass me, or enrich me, or, sadden me, or entertain me, or, any of the doings, any of the things to do to affect another person. And then the storyteller has to take on whatever doing that the listener gives them, and then they have to affect the listener using that doing. So for example, if the listener told them to enrage me, then the storyteller would have to, whilst continuing to tell the story, they would have to enrage the listener somehow, using their behavior and their words, and not their physical actions. And so throughout the activity, the listener will give them about 5 words, about 1 a minute. So it gives them 5 doings to do over the course of their story. And by the time 5 minutes hits, the person has to have told the listener how they actually murdered someone. They have to get to that point. They can't just be setting it up the whole time. They actually have to do the killing part. And they also have to hit all 5 doings. Now the listener is kind of like a detective in a way. They're listening in, and if they don't believe that the person has hit all 5 doings in that time, then the person, the storyteller, gets executed because they murdered someone, they get executed. But if the detective thinks that the storyteller has hit all those 5 doings, they have truly affected the listener in all 5 of those areas, then the storyteller walks free. It doesn't matter that they murdered someone, they walk free. Now essentially this game/activity is about developing your improvisational skills, your storytelling skills, and your doing skills. So practicing doings and practicing affecting the other person in different ways, whichever way the listener told them to. And it's a lot of fun because you get to make up a story about, an abstract way of killing someone. The second activity is called Two Men in a Park. Essentially how it works is you've got the 2 people. So you've got yourself and an acting partner that you're working the exercise with, and you're going to act like complete strangers who have just sat down on a park bench in the middle of a nice green park, and you're just going to talk to each other like strangers would who have just met. Now you want to be in character when you're doing this. So you want to be, whichever scene or circumstance that you're currently working on, you want to be as that character, and you're going to talk to the other person like that character. You're going to only react the way the character would, in a sense, and also you're going to reveal any information that you kind of talk about is going to come from the perspective and the life of that character. And the point of this is to kind of develop a regular sort of natural conversation between the two of you whilst in your characters, to get that character more realistic in your body, and it feels more natural to you. And hopefully you provoke each other to try and talk about things that are relevant to a particular circumstance or event in your character's life that you kind of want to work on. For example, if I was a character and my mother had just passed away, then how I would act in this situation would be, I'd probably be quite reserved and distraught on the inside, but I don't want to completely just dump that all on my scene partner, or the person sitting beside me on the bench, because I wouldn't just tell that to a stranger. But if we start having a natural conversation, then it might come out and I might talk about it more. It might bring up natural emotions more. And that's the kind of point of this activity. It's to keep it natural, but to put you in the character's shoes. So you do this for however long you want to do it for. Try do it for 20 minutes, if not 40 minutes, if not an hour. And you're just sitting there having a natural conversation with this stranger in the park and see where it goes. If it dies off nearly immediately, so be it. Maybe start it again and come in with a different starting emotion or spark or something that would trigger a different development of conversation. Hopefully it helps. These are some original exercises and activities that I've created, and they have their benefits. They have their purposes for targeting specific areas, and they can be helpful. If you think they might be helpful, give them a try, see how it goes. If you do, let me know how it turns out. Cheers.